Hey, be sure to tune into this week's weekly video fishing forecast. We have more on the September print issue of Fisherman magazine. We have reports from around the island, including from our correspondents, events as well. We have an open boat preview for you, which talks about catch and release bluefin tuna. And we have a little special video for you on fishing camp.
The ultimate fishing authority in the Northeast, the Fisherman magazine.
New Explore Series fish finders keep you locked on fish with unbeatable clarity, best-in-class imaging options, and a stunning ultra-bright HD screen. There's more to explore, only with Humminbird.
Today's September 4th, 2025. I hope you all had a great Labor Day weekend, got out there fishing. Last Friday, actually, we got out on the Angler Fleet, their Angler 5 boat, which hosts the Kids Fishing Camp. It's in Port Washington. Captain Kenny and the crew, they ran the boat great that day. Here's some more from them.
Growing up, I had opportunities to fish, and I had a lot of friends that didn't, and their favorite thing to do was come fishing with me. And a lot of kids, they don't have parents that got into it, so they don't have a chance to get into it. And being able to take these kids and show them and seeing how they go from never fishing before to absolutely loving the sport, being obsessed with the sport, really hits home, because I think every kid needs to at least have that opportunity.
I love watching kids catch fish. Yeah, something like seeing kids catch fish. And as a matter of fact, some of the kids through the camp, they came up through the ranks, and now they're actually working for the Angler Fleet as mates. So that's wonderful to see.
I've been doing charters for almost 20 years now. Started off with six packs, growing bigger boats, and I did take over this business a few years back when I took it over to have the summer camp. Big props to Captain Pete, who helped really grow the camp and made it what it is. A lot of informational stuff to really make it educational. We avoid the classroom stuff and have more hands-on fishing, and the kids learn anything and everything they need to learn or want to learn as they go, whether it's knots, whether it's the type of fish or fishing methods or things like that. A lot of them have dreams of getting their own boat, so they're very curious of how to catch more fish. Our summer camp is all summer long. It's pretty much July and August for the most part, with a little creeping into September sometimes, depending on how the season goes. So we have everything fishing-wise for the kids. We have the bait, we have the rods. The only thing they really need to bring is some lunch, some water, which we have backup if they need that too, some sunblock, and everything else we have covered. We pretty much are, and if they want to bring their own rod, they can. Sometimes the rod's not as appropriate for our kind of fishing, so we let them use ours. Sometimes the kids halfway through the season, they go out and they get their own rod, and they love fishing with their own stuff, and that's fine too. Yeah, I think a lot of the kids do forget about even picking up the phone. There's no need for it, which is important. A lot of people are in a really serene place doing some really cool stuff and find themselves on their phone. Fishing is the perfect distraction to take them away from that, and I think that's absolutely healthy in this time and age where, you know, the cell phone's in your pocket. It's the thing to go to. But when you're out on a trip like this, or you're especially at a camp like this, and we are fishing, it's the perfect time to be able to forget about the phone. One common thing is, oh, I don't know if he's going to know anybody at the camp or she's going to know anybody at the camp, but these kids get along. They're here for one purpose, that's fishing. They're all here for the same reason. We every time have great groups of kids, and they make friends, and you know, they're all here again for the same thing, and it helps bring them together. And they honestly don't need to know somebody at the camp. They're going to know somebody at the end of the camp.
The thing I like about fishing is like how you go as a group and you like make friends on this camp.
I love fishing because if I wasn't going to be here, then I would be downstairs in my basement playing video games, and I just love to get outside.
The action was nonstop on this trip, and I was happy to get out, help the kids myself, unhook some fish, bait some hooks. We all had a great time. There was smiles all around the whole boat. And remember, the Angler Fleet consists of 3 boats. They have a smaller boat and 2 bigger boats that can accommodate almost any size group. They do private charters, open boat charters, all different sorts of parties, as well as the kids camp that we got out on ourselves. For more information, visit theangler.com.
The Tobay Boat Show is back now in September, the 19th through the 21st. Hundreds of boats in water and on land. From fishing boats to personal watercraft and the latest electronics, this show has it all. Free parking. For more information, visit nyboatshows.com.
Let's move on to the September issue of Fisherman magazine and some of the local articles that you can expect. Starting off, we have Surfside Speed Demons. That's all from me. It's about these small, fast fish, albies, bonita, Spanish mackerel that we might encounter during the month of September. Stormy Stripers by Doc Muller. South Shore Fluke, the last shot at them by Tom Melton. Autumn Alternatives, Long Island's dock and pier primer. It's about all these different docks and piers that you can get in on and fish this fall. It's by Tony Salerno. And we have a Surf Candy Stripers on Mullet piece by Dave Pickering. And in this week's digital edition of Fisherman Magazine, we have a whole bunch of other great columns for you. The surf column, it's called The Teeth by Frank Caves. Our inshore column is called September Speedsters. Our offshore column, What Happened with Bluefin by Jim Hutch Jr. And we have a recipe for you. It's a tuna tartare. If you have some of those tuna left over, steaks and stuff like that, definitely good use of them with this recipe. Just because bluefin season is shut down to harvesting, you could still play the catch and release game with them. Jenni Ackerman has a bunch of tips on us on how to catch and release bluefin tuna properly with Captain Jerry. But remember, if you are going to do this, you still need your HMS permit to do so.
Welcome to this week's Open Boat. It's me, Jenni Ackerman, here with Captain Jerry Malanga of Eastbound Malanga and Shore Catch Charters. You know the name Shore Catch because Captain Jim Frieda is a contributor to the magazine. But we're talking about something really important here. You know, it's peak September season, and of course the doom and gloom with bluefin, you know, it really sucks to be honest, but guys can still go out and catch and release bluefin, and Jerry has been doing so, and he's gonna give you a full scoop on why you should do it, how to properly do it, and to just get out there and go fishing.
Absolutely, yep, thank you, Jenny. Yeah, so this is a great time of year, fall, September, October, November. This is probably the height of our bait season, especially for bluefin and yellowfin. But being that the season's closed right now, we kind of have no option but to release them. So for guys like us and shore catch, like we're all about the bite and the fish. It's not necessarily about trying to load the boat with dead ones and kill everything. We take the conservation and the catch and release seriously. And it's a great time of year to, one, fight big bluefin, either casting at them, jigging, hooking them on bait. But also it's a good time for, especially for kind of newer anglers or newer fishermen getting into the bluefin scene. It's a good learning experience on how to properly do it, because at the end of the day, you can't replace learning on the job or experience doing it.
Exactly. So Jerry has a tool here that's available at your local tackle shops. We're at the dock of Fisherman Supply here in Point Pleasant Beach that they've been using for the catch and release of these big bluefin. So you want to go over just basically the whole process from catching to basically like keeping the fish moving in the water with this fun thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So for you striped bass guys out there, if you've ever seen a boga grip to lip a striped bass, this is a boga grip on steroids. Italian company Pratico makes these. We got these a couple years ago, and it's simple. When you get the fish to the boat, it sounds simple when I explain this to you, but when you're doing it, it might be a little tougher, and I'm sure you'll see some of the videos. But once you get the fish tired and he's kind of laying up at the boat, you have somebody leader, and you'll have another guy on the boat there. One, you have a lever here, so you open, and that's for grabbing the fish at the lip. You want to try to get it right where his mouth opens, the bottom lip. And once you get it on there, you just let it go, hold it. You'll also tie a rope off here for an extra safety precaution. You don't get yanked in the water, you don't lose this. You can cleat that off as well. So what you're gonna do is grab the fish, hold them there, hold them at the boat side. You'll still have a guy on the leader just in case, depending on how green the fish is. Usually if you have the opportunity to get this in his mouth, he's kind of tired. So once you do, you're gonna take your hook out. You can either take we have like an old bent marlin gaff to lift the tail out of the water while you still have this in the lip. and then we'll put the boat in gear, swim the fish along the side of the boat till he starts to kind of color up again and start stumping his tail. Once that happens, you're just opening the lip, shaking him out, and letting him go on his merry way.
Awesome. Yeah, we got a ton of video footage from you doing this, and then of course you've been posting it to social media. You were even on Fox News advocating for why are we getting basically, you know, the ones that are getting restricted with bluefin, because in my honest opinion, I think it's not fair. We shouldn't be restricting a fishery, and especially like for me, I want to go out there and get some too, but of course we can still catch and release. So a huge thank you to you, Jerry, for voicing the New Jersey captains out there and continuing with the huge, you know, conservation efforts for everything. You're not all about, you know, kill shots on the deck, you know, you release fish and all that. So huge shout out to you and all the guys at Shore Catch, you know, Gene and Jim and all them, and continue to keep on doing this. And hopefully, you know, fingers crossed in the near future, we can finally go back out and target bluefin. So fingers crossed, let's see what the fall brings, and continue to voice your thoughts to NOAA and beyond. Write them letters, you know, get on the news, why not? Like, talk to us about it. So hopefully we see some changes in the future. So stay tuned, catch them up, and I'll see you guys on next week's Open Boat.
Now let's check in with some upcoming events from around the island. Starting off, we have the Mount Sinai Snapper Showdown on September 7th. Then we have the Riverhead Snapper Derby on September 13th. Then after that, on September 14th, is the Keith Romaine Memorial Snapper Derby. And from the 19th to the 21st of September is the Tobay Beach Boat Show. It's an in-water boat show. A lot of stuff, you cannot miss that one. Then we have the 7th Annual Fishing Tournament and Lobster Bash. That is at Port of Egypt Marina. That's from September 26th through the 27th. Then we also have the Fred Galafaro Memorial Montauk Surf Fishing Classic. That will take place from October 3rd through October 5th this year. You can find the sign-up forms in the latest edition of the Fisherman magazine. Fisherman magazine also has their surf inshore and offshore fishing show. That is on October 9th this year. Be sure to mark your calendars for that one. And to round out for the events this week, we have the Corkers Cup Gathering of the Anglers Tournament from October 17th through October 19th. For all the details and more on these events, visit thefisherman.com/events.
Introducing the Yak Attack Sandrig Surf Cart, the ultimate beach hauler for serious anglers. Glide effortlessly over soft sand with wide balloon wheels and lightweight, corrosion-resistant construction that's completely customizable with options. Whether it's rods, coolers, or tackle, haul it all with ease. Built by surf fishermen and engineered by Yak Attack.
Now let's get the latest from the Coastal Kayak Clash Challenge and our Dreamboat contest.
We start off the first week of September in the Dreamboat Fishing Challenge with an entry from New England subscriber from Coventry, Connecticut, Rich Turcotti, with a 8.16 fluke weighed in at AW Marine, placing him in 8th in the fluke category. This leaves the leaderboard at Rashawn Williams still owning first place spot at 17 points. Thomas Luciano maintaining second with 16 points. Jeffrey Harrison holding third with 15 points. Are you the best angler in the Northeast? Well, now is your chance to prove it. The Fisherman's Dreamboat Contest is back. Win this Steigercraft center console powered by Yamaha along with these other great prizes. Fish hard and weigh in as many of these species to be top on the leaderboard. What's the catch? You must be a subscriber to the Fisherman magazine. All it takes is one fish on the board to win a great prize, so however you fish, you have a shot. For all the details and official rules, visit thefisherman.com.
After an extended layoff with no entries, the field of competitors came roaring back with 3 significant fish that had major implications at the top of the tournament. Dustin Stevens looked to extend his lead with a 22.5-inch bonito. That fish now leads the category. Rothanong nailed a 24.25-inch blackfish, which now sits atop the Tog division. And Eddie Roman blew us all away with this mammoth 30-inch fluke that now leads the fluke category by 3 inches. The leaderboard now looks like this. We have Rothanong and Eddie Roman in a virtual tie for second place, although Rotha's 49.75-inch striped bass definitively breaks the tie. And Dustin Stevens, despite being knocked down a rung in the fluke category, extends his tourney leading score to 10 total points.
Hey kayakers, the Fisherman's Coastal Kayak Clash Contest is back. Win this fully outfitted Hobie Mirage Lynx kayak from Yak Attack along with other great prizes. Catch and release as many of these species to be top on the leaderboard. To enter, you must be a subscriber to the Fisherman magazine, fish from a kayak, and document your catch. Many chances to win great prizes, so get out there on the water now and fish hard. To be part of the action, you must be a subscriber and register at thefisherman.com.
And if you do participate in the Coastal Kayak Clash or the Dreamboat Challenge, read all the rules thoroughly, fill out all the spots completely, including length and girth measurements. And with that being said, let's get to our Around the Map segment. Starting out on the east end of the island, bottom fishing did hold steady the past week with a lot of porgies, a lot of sea bass coming up, and some triggerfish as well. That's out in Montauk. Fluking did bounce back after that storm, and the swell did sit down. There were good catches by the radio tower, Cartwright, around the lighthouse as well. Did hear that striped bass filtered back in towards the point and in the harbor as well. The rips were loaded. Schoolie fish in the harbors, fish up to 40 inches out front, mixed with some scattered bluefish. There was some mackerel in the mix as well. On the offshore scene, the tuna bite, if you can get out there, has been red hot at the tails, Veaches, Atlantis. It's all yellowfin, long fins. Been some big mahi as well on the troll, getting them on jigs as well. They've been thick around the lobster pots and the high flyers out there, so keep an eye out on the way back in. Party and charter boat fishing at Block Island has also been consistent. There's been limits of porgies, big sea bass, been some surface feeds with Spanish mackerel during the daytime hours. Across the South Fork in Peconic Bay, it's been giving up a lot of porgies recently, some weak fish, big weak fish, blowfish, some cocktail blues as well. Shinnecock in the skinny water has been seeing fluke to about 6 pounds. Plus off about Shinnecock, if we're going back offshore about 40 to 50 miles out, there's been some yellowfin as well. And it's been a good mix from the bays to the canyons. So if you're on the east end, definitely there's a lot to do. We're going to shoot back out to Montauk. Alan Yee checked in this week from the Simple Life. He had a limit of fluke and some nice black sea bass as well. Then Liwa Vang, she caught this 28.5-inch weakfish on Sunday. That was over by Jessup's Neck on the Tide Runner 2, Boston Whaler. Fish is caught on a 4-ounce diamond jig in about 35 feet of water on the flood tide on the drift. Captain Savio also checked in from Montauk. He said the albies made a good showing in Montauk. There's a lot of bonito mixed in. All the fish were caught on tins. Moving on to the south shore of the island, the albies showed up as well. Jacob checked in, said he had his first ones of the year about the south shore area, central Fire Island, all on epoxy jigs. Moving on to the west end of the island, Daniel, he was aboard his friend Bill Stockard's boat, the Romy 3, when he had this 31-inch, 14.02 pound huge fluke by the Meadowbrook. It was on a wide peanut bunker. The fish hit the official scale at Combs Bait and Tackle. Heck of a fish, Daniel. Nice job. Moving on to the north shore of the island, Tyrone Sellers was fishing Smithtown Bay. He had a nice 24-inch fluke over the weekend. Catherine Pastor, she had 5 bluefish. That's her limit on a party boats. They were from 16 to 20 inches, all caught diamond jigging on the James Joseph out of the Huntington area. Then Jamar Mims, he caught this 42-inch striped bass over the weekend. That was in Smithtown Bay on his grandfather's 23-foot Mako. Little surf report for you. Surf is coming alive. Action has been lively. A lot of cocktail blues. The fluke is still the main target from Breezy about Fire Island. Porgies are holding strong on the North Shore beaches, rocky areas on the North Fork as well. Snappers, blowfish, crabs are keeping everybody busy on the piers from Canarsie to Captree. While Bonito and albies made a quick showing at Demo and Shinnecock, as I mentioned before, in the surf as well. Mixed in has been bluefish and fluke on the back sides of Demo and Shinnecock. The Peconics are producing crabs, porgies, and weakfish, while Shinnecock has offered stripers and blues and triggers from the rocks. It's been bonito for the casters out there as well. Moving on out to the North Fork. Daytime porgy action has been good. Evening blues has been good. There's been some nighttime schoolie striper action from Orient to East Marion. Moving back over to the South Fork, bass to 45 inches has been chewing in Montauk from Ditch Plains going around to the lighthouse, mainly after dark. Bunch of different plugs, darters, SP minnows, Yozuri mag darters. That rounds out the surf action for the week. And if you do have a notable catch, email me at mbroderick@thefisherman.com. I would love to get your photo into the weekly video fishing forecast or the next issue of the Fisherman magazine. Let's head on over to our correspondents from all corners of the island. And remember, if you want to see a specific correspondent from a specific spot on the island, there is a chapters feature on YouTube now. You can click that chapter in that specific spot and do so.
Well, good evening, everybody from Montauk. Actually, things coming back together after Hurricane Aaron. Everything settled back down. So that being said, the inshore report is really coming alive. We had a nice hit of early season albies. I had a trip on Sunday and I was really surprised to get into some false albacore. My client had them on the fly rod and his 2 kids had them on the spinners. So that was really exciting, and then that continued into Sunday and into this week. The striped bass are starting to move back in. We're starting to see some quality bass again, and that's always good. And the typical porgies, bluefish, and the fluke fishing's actually pretty good too. Some nice doormats coming in. The offshore report, a lot of nice big eyes being caught. Little Steven on the Viking 5-star is still out there as we speak, but he'll probably be hitting the dock as this report is airing. He sent me a nice photo of a big eye they just put in the boat. A lot of yellowfins. So if you're thinking about going out to the edge this weekend or next week, it's really good fishing. Also, some bluefin have moved back in inshore. So if you want to do a little catch and release, hey, have at it. All right, until next week, guys, enjoy the report. Hopefully we're going to start seeing some really good fall action. Thank you, Matt.
At the edge of Long Island, where the ocean meets tradition, Montauk Anglers Club can be your boat's home and your gateway to legendary fishing. Whether you're a pro or just casting your first line, this is where memories are made. Join Montauk Anglers Club, where the catch of the day is just the beginning. Or go to montaukanglersclub.com for more information.
Thanks, Matt. Hey, everyone. Starting to get some hints of that fall run fishing going on in between Shinnecock and Moriches. Have been a couple of pods of albies spotted off the beach. Out of casting distance from the beach, that is, but cool to see that those are around, and a couple of guys I know that were out looking for those also noticed a number of good-sized bunker pods. They weren't like the full adult size bunker, and they weren't peanuts, so that kind of striper candy size. So keep an eye out. Haven't heard too many reports of stripers, but you know, there have been a few more catches than usual, a little bit more than just, you know, the small, like, kind of resident schoolies. So these crisp fall nights are going to lead to some pretty good fishing sometime very soon, and we're coming up on the full moon, so it seems like things are really going in the right direction. There's also been a number of sand eels spotted as well, and with all the tuna that have been feeding on those sand eels, just gorging themselves, hopefully those sand eels will move in and we'll have just an epic bite like last year. Fluke bite still going on. Some good sea bass fishing going on. Hampton Lady's been doing it right on the reef when people can get out front. The weather has been the most cooperative, but you know, those are there, and the fluke bite in the bay is still going pretty good. So still a lot of fishing going on before we really get into it, and it goes bananas with the stripers. So looking forward to it. Also, Rich Von Ohlen, thank you so much for all your forecasts and being a contributor on the reports. You've been a huge help, and really excited for your next chapter. Bummed to see you go, but it's going to be nothing but great things ahead. So good luck, buddy. All right, Matt, back to you.
For more than 20 years, anglers everywhere have come to know one thing, that nothing says no to fish bites.
Spanish mackerel are here. The bonito usually should be not far behind. The water is shifted down. The weak fish have gone into the harbors. The bluefish are on the jig bite. The bluefish are on the inside. You're going to see larger ones for the most part on the outside. They've started to press up against the beach like we spoke about. Those peanut bunker, and literally as far as you could see spearing, beautiful, delicious looking spearing, and you've got the snappers on them. They've got spot on them. The porgies, you're chasing them. The Spanish mackerel are blitzing on top of the surface in some instances. The striped bass have kind of moved into the deeper areas and shifted into the bay in some spots. So you're seeing a lot going on. Also, the sea bass, you saw a continuous effort to catch sea bass in the range of keeper size, which is tough, but we're getting, for the most part, a lot of 15 to 16-inch sea bass. And they're beautiful, healthy fish. They're just under the limit. So that's a shame if you're looking for a beautiful dinner. As far as other great things to look forward to, we're going to be coming back onto a new moon phase. Look for like more instances of northeast winds. Right now we're experiencing today a south wind. So you can look at places like Montauk Point really start to light up. Remember, if you're a surfcaster, we're into September, and September you usually get that big shift of fish that come off of Block Island, and they'll start setting up in the rips of Montauk, and that's when you get like a big body of fish. And then of course they'll shift down to, and Mike Dean will start talking about it. They'll be over at Shinnecock. It's a pattern that you can see every year, and the same exact thing happens in the Long Island Sound. It's great because it's shifting. We're coming into the fall, and that means like another beautiful section of fishing until, I don't know, end of November, and then for the most part the North Shore shuts down. So there's plenty to do. Get out there and do it. And until next week, I bid you all peace and tight lines.
Hey Matt, inshore fishing, still some big fluke around. Buddy of mine had one 11.5 pounds. Another buddy had one over 10. But of course, that's pretty sophisticated fishing. And live baits working best, live peanuts, live spot. So working around, this is all on the inside. On the outside, on the reef, there's a decent bite and also a chance for catching sea bass. So you got a couple of possibilities. However, the weather on the weekend's a little bit on the shaky side. Sunday looks pretty good. What else? Bottom fishing, blowfish are in. Some of the big ones right now, and pretty much get on an edge somewhere around some structure, put a clam chum pot down, and I'm sure you'll have a great time. So that's about it this week, Matt. Take care. We'll talk to you next week.
Hello, Matt. Well, I hope you had a great Labor Day weekend. I know I did. I saw some good friends. Didn't do any fishing this weekend. It was pretty busy. I was pretty busy. But this is now Tuesday, and I decided to get out with my son. We really don't get a chance to fish that often. We decided to take the boat out, do a little fluking, and if we see bluefish, which we did, we're going to go after them. And my son Owen, he must have had 5, 6 on, landed 2, all on a fly rod. It was so much, and here's the amazing thing: we tried with spinning rods, but our bait was too big. They were feeding on rain bait, really small bait, and we were using a small surf candy, but a chartreuse, so it stood out, and it's incredible. They just charged the bait. It was so much fun. As far as the freshwater scene, well, I've been hearing that the Connect Quad is cooling down, which is good. There is fish to be had, but you got to look for them. They're hiding under the weeds, and they're hiding up against the bank. You got to understand, they're fed. Everybody eats them. The ospreys, the raccoons. So they're not going to be out in the open. You have to work for them. But when I go out there, change flies. That's my whole thing. Look for deeper cuts and change flies. Now, also, the Housatonic is at its lowest it's been in years. Still very good fishing for smallmouth if you want to get out there. This is the time to get there. Right now, it's incredibly low, but that makes for great smallmouth fishing. The Delaware is now picking up. I've been hearing people have been fishing the Delaware, and they're having some good luck with on the West Branch with trout. But there again, pick your days. Because sometimes, it just gets too hot. But we're now in the fall. I'm telling you, I can't believe the amount of bait I saw today. A lot of rain bait. And I'm starting to see more and more fish coming, getting caught. So this is the full run. So until next week. Tie lines, everybody.
Hey guys, thanks for having us. Nuno here from Tyalure. This week we're not going to do a fishing report. We feel there's some bigger issues out there. And it's the plight of the striped bass. Coming up on September 17th, we're going to have an important meeting with the DC office on the plight of the striped bass. That's where you get to have your comments and your concerns and everything else. We strongly support the harvest because right now we're down to 3 inches in a slot, 1 fish per person. It's all about access, and it's all about not losing the harvest, so the next thing that they can take away is the target. If you support the harvest, the target remains, guys. It's very important. It's one of those things that they've already predetermined and they want to have a reduction. Simply put, we can't count a biomass. We strongly feel that the fishery supports a 3-inch slot, maybe even more, guys. There's no reason we should lose it. You should start your phone calls and your comments now. Don't wait. And if you have the time, you can attend this meeting virtually. Follow our page on Instagram and we'll post more and more detailed information, guys. Support the harvest so we don't have to worry about losing the target. Tight lines, guys.
In the famed waters of Panama awaits a fishing experience like no other. Tropic Star Lodge welcomes anglers to get in on world-famous fishing action. Plan your perfect trip today. Tropic Star Lodge, the ultimate in fishing adventures for more than 60 years.
All right, we are in the middle of the blitz. We got some bonitas and albies, and right now we think we're double-headed on actually, and yeah, it's been non-stop action. So yeah, we're all using jigs right now. So small little epoxy jigs and little jigs is what's the ticket, and just reeling them in as quick as you can, and you know, getting on tight is pretty much just non-stop. So right now we're offshore, switching it up this week. We're targeting some mahi as well, so hopefully we can get some mahi on deck. And oh, we also got a Spanish Mac, so awesome day, awesome mixed bag today, and you know, what a treat. Oh, hey, we got look at that, we got a cocktail blue. All right, back to you.
Tim and Matt Hopewell as well. Well, guys, Mike Sentry here from Anglers of Legend Sportfish, Boatworks, and Seafoods. Well, towel fishing has definitely been hitting it off. Yellowfin on fire the past few days. You're looking at the Elbow, Hudson, West Bank over there. Zigzag's not producing that much. The tip of the Hudson, dead. You might get a couple mahi here and there from the lobster pots, but usually the West Elbow and the East Elbow and in the mouth is where you're going to catch most of your yellowfin tuna on the chunk bite. Trolling is still producing early morning hours. Some people ask, why is that? Well, simple. Sand eels like to bury themselves in the mud when it's nighttime. When the sun comes out, false light, they come up and start feeding on zooplankton. And zooplankton eat the photoplankton. That's how that works. So that's why early morning trolling success for big eyes and yellowfins. On the home front with the giant commercial season starting to kick off September. We should be heading out there hopefully sometime this week. Commercial days are Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Thursdays. Fishing restriction days are Tuesday, Fridays, and Saturdays, so that puts a hamper on things. This week is definitely going to be a blowout. Sunday might be a go. Porgy open up in New Jersey, and in New York water's been open. People catching them with bloodworms, squid, clams, cut bait, small little hook. Pretty much follow the rules and regulations on the limits of your state. Bluefish diamond jigs are producing, particularly with the green, rubber plastic. That seems to be producing very well. Make sure you put your leader on, by the way. Some really nice gators. A couple weeks ago, I hand fed a nice giant 8-pound bluefish, fought it for about 15 minutes solo, and pulled the hook, unfortunately, on that bad boy. With that said, the bluefin commercial season remains open, subject to NOAA closures and limits on the metric tonnage. And that's pretty much it. So stay tuned. Hopefully we put a big old boy on the map.
The Fisherman magazine does have an apparel store. Keep that in mind. We have hats, sweatshirts, hoodies, t-shirts, and they're all online now with free shipping with orders over $100. It's a perfect gift for yourself or that angler in your life. Visit thefisherman.com/shop or click on the card in the upper right. Well, there's your report for the week, folks. I hope you all had a great Labor Day. Still got summer-like weather out here. It's beautiful out. Some of the best fishing is ahead of us right now. Matter of fact, I'm watching somebody catch some fish right now behind me. Probably a fluke or something like that. So remember, you have until the first week of October to go fluke fishing. That's some of the best fluking of the year. Be sure to send those pictures in. Get them into the weekly video fishing forecast, the magazine as well. Again, plenty of fishing left to be done. We will see you next week.